and emailed out to the Board of Education Community subscription. Came in live, sorry. Our school board members received the agenda and all supporting documents for reports and action items several days prior to the scheduled meeting, so they can review information, prepare questions or comments, and are ready to participate fully in the discussions and votes. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. The Buchanan Community Schools Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on district matters as indicated during the public comment portion of the agenda. We request that each interested participant complete and turn in a public comment card to express responses, to ensure responses can be appropriately addressed. Thank you for your support of Buchanan Community Schools. We will go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we can go ahead with roll call.
Sorry. Mr. Carlson.
Here.
Ms. Brackett.
Here.
Mr. Brown.
Here.
Ms. Lesh here. Dr. Carlin's absent. Dr. Burnett.
Here.
And Ms. Berry.
Here. All right, next we have adoption of our agenda.
I move the agenda for the regular board meeting of November 17th, 2025 be adopted as written.
Support.
That was like in
You guys were
stereo.
in sync.
That's crazy.
I'll support you.
That was, I was like,
both
what
reading.
am I? Okay, Harvey and Ditto.
Right.
All right.
All right, thank you. We're not used to the mics like this,
Yeah.
so. Roll call, please.
Mr. Carlson.
Yes.
Ms. Brackett.
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Burnett.
Yes.
And Ms. Berry.
Yes. All right. Thank you all for being here. I know a few of you are presenting tonight, so we will get right on with it. And we'll start with our points of pride.
All right. Sorry, I gotta take this off. This is messing up. All right. So for our nominees for the month of November, we have Bethany Billington, first grade teacher, Christina Wilson, Moccasin Behavioral Support Specialist, Hillary Casey, Moccasin Media Assistant, Jennifer Templeton, Administrative Assistant to Transportation, Jessica Elliott, Buchanan High School English Teacher, Kara Barrett, Moccasin Special Education Teacher, Chris Reddick, second grade teacher, Michelle Trail, Moccasin Custodian, Sandra Staggs, sixth grade mathematics teacher, Sydney Zemke, first grade teacher, and Tom Kuznio, fourth grade teacher, and Kristen Shaner, GSRP teacher, is the actual winner. So I was like, congratulations. Let me read what was submitted for her. She had 3 things submitted. So it says, I would like to nominate Kristen Shaner for staff appreciation because she is truly one of a kind. Kristen is such a fun, caring, and vibrant human being whose rainbow personality lights up every room she walks into. From the very first day, she made the classroom feel warm, welcoming, and full of joy, a place where little ones feel safe and excited to learn. What makes Kristen so special is the way she not only connects with her students, but with their families as well. Starting preschool can be an emotional transition, and Kristen went above and beyond to ease our worries. Her kindness, patience, and positive energy made the transition to school so much easier for my daughter, my husband, and me. Knowing our children was in her care brought us such peace of mind. And then the third, it says, Kristen truly embodies what it means to love what you do, and it shines through in every smile, every encouraging word, and every creative, colorful moment she shares with her students. Buchanan Community Schools is lucky to have her. On behalf of the Board of Education and Administration of Buchanan Community Schools, we thank you for your service and encourage you to keep up the great level of achievement and service to our district. Congratulations. Come on up. I was like, do you have your phone, Michelle? Did you see that? Okay. Okay.
No, together. That's a tradition.
Right. Can't stop now.
Okay, I got it. Sorry, my grandma.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, thank you, Kristen.
All right, then we have some other points of pride if you want to talk about those, Trish.
Yep. So other points of pride include our varsity volleyball conference champs. Team were the champions, so we want to congratulate them. Varsity football team were the conference champs as well. Our men's varsity cross-country team made it to the state finals. They were 14th place. Overall, a varsity cross-country first team all-state was Taylor Carlin, 18th place, and John Kessler, 24th place. So we have really something celebrated about our athletes as well. In addition to that, we celebrated Veterans Day last week, and we have a few veterans on our team who we recognize too. Mike Cornelius, Brandon Nias, Matthew Orsillo, David Short, Derek Teft, Jessica Walker, and Buchanan High School substitute, Mr. Gene Warner. So we thank them all for their service. Oh, and I missed the marching band who placed 10th place at the state championship as well. So, yep, lots of activities, and we're excited and pleased with their performance this season. So,
Mrs. Berry, if I may just point out, Dr. Burnett is also a veteran.
Yeah.
And we thank all those folks on the list and Dr. Burnett
yes, jeez.
for your service.
The main one.
Yeah, Air Force, rock.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank
Harvey.
you. Thank you.
All right, moving on to the superintendent and department reports.
Yeah, and those reports are in your package every month. Our leaders and department leads take time and update you on all things that have happened throughout the month, and we are just excited. Just so much progress that we're having this year, and we're excited and pleased with the work and the leadership that our folks display each and every month. So thank them. Thank you.
We're flying right through this. Presentation, so Mr. Macbeth.
I'll do a quick rundown of athletics first, and then, is Aaron on there? Okay, so I can get him on there. So first, all of our fall sports have completed, finished the season. Trish just kind of went through some of the highlights, but I wrote some of those down as well. Actually, I wrote down a little bit, something for each sport. Our boys soccer team had a record of 12-7-2, and it was the first time they've had back-to-back 10-win seasons in about 15 years. They had 3 first-team all-conference players and 2 all-regional players. Our tennis team finished over 500 for the first time since 2019. They won the New Prairie Early Season Rumble. They had 3 first-team all-conference athletes, and their #1 doubles team actually won an invitational at the Portage Northern Invite, which was pretty much all Division I schools, so that was an impressive showing. Volleyball was 21-11-1. That was actually their 5th straight conference championship, so really impressive there. And they had 2 first-team all-conference athletes. The football team finished the season at 6-4. With a share of the conference championship. That's 4 straight, I believe, 4 straight playoff appearances, and I think it's 5 out of the last 7 years, which is kind of matches the best span we've had in a long time. They had 8 first-team all-conference players, 5 all-regional, and then 4 academic all-state athletes on that team, so that was impressive. Men's cross country won their 3rd straight county meet, and that was something we had never done before except in 1977, so winning 3 straight was pretty impressive. They qualified for the state finals for the 4th straight time, and then there's 7 in our league. They named 7 first-team all-conference athletes, and we had 6 of those, so we had kids that weren't even our top runners that finished all-conference because of the production or their times in the conference meet. And then, as Trish already said, we had 3 all-regional athletes, and then we had 1 all-state boy. John Keyser was all-state, so that was 2 years in a row we've had an all-state runner at the state meet. And then our women's cross-country team, they had to fight injuries all season long. I think, since I'm at cross-country a lot, I think they had 3 runners who started off in their top 5 who couldn't finish the season just because of injuries. They still managed to finish 2nd overall in the league. They had 2 all-conference runners, and then we had Tala Carlin, who as a freshman was first-team all-state as well. And she did a great job at the state meet. Some other athletic things. Our Facebook page for athletics has been a real hit so far this year. I think we have already over 300 posts since the beginning of the year. And then I think in addition to that, almost every team, I think there might be one that still doesn't, but most of the teams have their own social media site as well. So lots of avenues you can go online and see how our athletic teams are doing as well. Some other athletic-related topics, we have obviously our baseball field is looking good out there. We're still waiting for the fence, but I think once the fence is up, the rest of it's going to probably get done early spring. We have the Kubota that was donated, and that was obviously made life for our new athletic trainer a lot easier, as she kind of had to drive between the high school and the middle school for different athletic events. We had schools visit, and they loved the fact that we could load that Kubota up and take their equipment down to the football field. The football locker room, the wrap is an amazing addition. The kids love that. I think also in the process right now is discussions about adding wraps to the hallways just outside the competition gym, along with a digital Hall of Fame board. We're looking at getting new padding in the competition gym on the north and south end. I actually had looked into that early in the school year and kind of went away from it for a little bit. And then during tryouts, one of my star players shot an air ball and the mats came tumbling down. So I decided it was maybe something we should look at going back to. And then we started to look at some things about improving our track, tennis courts, and some renovations or some things that we can update at the soccer complex as well. So a lot of good things for our athletic program. For Buchanan Virtual Academy, I think we're super excited to announce that we have found our way off the state's CSI list. I think we ended up on it right after COVID. Unfortunately, I know when COVID happened, they hadn't checked school, they hadn't done one of those lists for years, and then we ended up on that list. And we've learned that as a virtual program, getting off of that list is certainly not easy. I think they said less than 10% of the schools that were on there were able to find their way off. We've also learned that lots of times the solution to get off that list for schools in the same situation as us, they just close their doors and open up under a new name. So we're extremely excited that Aaron and his team were able to help us venture through that, and we're excited now that we're going to be off that list, and we have Aaron and some people from his team here to share some more information about that. And I also have brought a piece of information that Trish received. I don't know if it's officially released yet, but something we can share with you guys. So Aaron, if you want, I'll hand this out and you can share the information you have. Can you hear me?
Well, thank you. Well, on behalf of our team, first I want to say good evening and thank you for having us here. We're pleased to be here. I'm Aaron Brown, Director of School Partnerships, and with me I have Jennifer Nickel, our Director of Education, and Beth Dietz, our Director of People Accounting, as well as Step Up. So we just want to say thank you again for the partnership. It's been fantastic. I've been with you since day one, which feels So I've been here 15 years, I think about 12 years with Buchanan, maybe 11 years in that time frame.
Hey, Aaron,
Yeah,
Tell them to hold on.
just a second.
I'm wondering if
You
you
got
turn
it.
it down and then
We're gonna just try to get your volume so we can hear you better.
at the end.
Okay.
Would work better. She's messaging them.
She's chatting with me now.
Some new technology, just so everybody knows, making sure it works.
Oh, Aaron, can you say a few words, just so we can
Yeah.
try to adjust it while you're talking again?
You got it. How's everyone doing tonight? Is that
Still
better?
low. All right, try one more time.
How's everyone doing tonight?
That's a little better. Yep,
A little bit better? All right.
yep, all right.
All right, Reed, start from the beginning then?
Sure.
All right, well, good evening and welcome everybody. My name is Aaron Brown, Director of School Partnerships. I'm here with Jennifer Nickel, our Director of Education, and Beth Dietz, our Director of Accounting, as well as STEM. I just want to say thank you again for being our partner. We truly appreciate it. As Reed said, it's been a long 3 years with the CSI, but I think the team did a great job. We want to say thank you to the district for your support, as well as leadership. Superintendent Robinson and Reed, Brian, everyone's been great working with us, stuff from ISD. As Reed mentioned before, it's very difficult to get off the CSI list, but I think the team did a great job. And we're happy to report the numbers that I'm looking at the district shared look fantastic, even higher than you see in a lot of traditional schools across the state. I know we can't share exact data yet because it's still embargoed, but knowing that your overall index almost tripled from where we were at 3 years ago, growth index went up over 25 points, proficiency index going up about 40 points. These are scores that you just don't see. So it's great to see the students overall succeeding, growing, being part of your district. And that's what we appreciate the most, that you support the students, and that's what we value in that partnership, because everything we do is always for the students. So on behalf of our company, we want to say thank you. And Rita, I'll hand it back over to you.
Thank you.
I think just the final things to this is, when we meet every so often. I guess the next steps to kind of address this is just, we've been talking about steps that we can take so that we kind of stay off of that list. Some things have been put in place. We've had grant money the last few years that we could use to kind of improve our student outcomes. And so now we're talking about what are those things that we can continue to do so that we can keep the students moving forward. So that's it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thanks,
this
Aaron.
was- Thank you, Aaron.
Thank
you.
you.
This was really good.
Thank
We prayed-
you. Have a good night.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate Aaron and his team, and we were meeting just almost like every other month, like,
Yep.
to get down what the strategies that we needed to implement to help this group. And we know it's a hard group because they're not in person, they're virtual. And there were things like, we added tutors to support them. There were computers purchased, I believe, to help.
We
no,
couldn't end up, they wouldn't approve.
They
that
wouldn't
one.
approve the computers. What else? There were some other strategies that we implemented.
But we had, so we had to get like some attendance people who kind of stay on them. If they miss, actually the attendance piece has really been, it's a lot harder now. It used to, kids would get on like once a week, and now they have to be monitored almost daily. And so that piece, we have one of the highest attendance. Aaron's told us we have one of the higher attendance for all the virtual programs in the state that he works with. So
Yeah, so those strategies really worked. And so we are, like Reed said, we're looking at ways to sustain some of those activities, which the grant money is gone, this will be our last year to be able to use those funds. So it's about $22,000 of those types of services that were implemented. So we're trying to figure out where we can get that to help sustain the programs. So,
The growth numbers that he shared are incredible. really.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
And we were still worried even with those growth numbers that we weren't gonna get off the list
Yes.
because it's so hard to do with the virtual schools, so.
Yeah.
So we were excited when we got that information, so.
Definitely something to celebrate, that's for sure.
I thought Trish was gonna take my, surprise when she was giving celebration.
You know what?
I have one more comment with athletics, but you can sit down, it's just a comment, it's not a question. This year we have an athletic trainer, and she is everywhere, and I know she heard we had powder puff, so she just came down on her own time, and there were some girls that got hurt, she was able to treat them. There's kids in there I hear every day getting treatment and preventative treatment in the training room after school. Yeah, right.
It's time to go.
Right. But I think she's, so far, at least for fall sports, from what I've heard, is she's a huge asset to our programs and to our student athletes, keeping them healthy and taking care of some bumps and bruises and dislocated fingers. Just yeah.
Even had a scare at a volleyball match.
Yes.
With a parent, or with a grandparent stands. She was unresponsive for a few minutes. We had police there. I mean, for anybody in that situation, it's scary when they have a trainer there, made it a lot more, she knew right what to do, and ambulance was called, but we were lucky to have her at that event, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, she's been great.
Yes, a great hire.
Yeah, good.
Something else that didn't come up, but I know it happened from an athletics and a band perspective. There was a student that participated in the state finals in Jackson and then hauled themselves really quickly over to Detroit to play in the band competition. So good job on the dedication there to get in both. That was a challenge.
He ran faster, he had more time.
Right?
Good. Thank you. All right, next we have our information reports, and, no, I'm sorry, I'm skipping right over all the good stuff. We're on to our audit.
It's okay, you guys don't need us.
No, we do.
We do, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys should all have a packet in front of you. So, well, first I'll introduce myself. So for you guys that don't know me, my name's Allison Allman. I'm with Krugel Lawton. I'm sure you're used to seeing Alex here. I've been behind the scenes on the audit team. I'm a senior manager at KL. I've been a part of the audit for quite a few years, and Alex is finally letting me out to present. In your packet, so if you flip to that first page, that's the opinion letter. Right now, it's just for the financial statements. The government's reopened, which means hopefully soon we'll be able to issue the single audit. Fingers crossed. The OMB has quite a big task list on their list, so we're hoping January timeframe is what we are thinking. So I just want to say, clean opinion, everything looked great. We had no findings, nothing causing any concern. I think the team at Berry and Reese did an amazing job. Your team here at Buchanan, an amazing job. So that was the only thing I kind of want to talk about there. If you flip to that very first graph, and throughout all this, so I met with the finance committee team back in October, right before the 11/1 deadline. So we kind of went through all the nitty-gritty stuff. So I'm just going to focus on your general fund and kind of just talk pretty high level for you guys. But looking at your general fund, so in total, the general fund's revenue was about $21.9 million. This pie chart is just kind of focusing on what your revenue is sourced. So that red, 79.3% or $17.4 million is state revenue. That gray, or 13.3%, is tax. That's about $2.9 million. That green, or 2.4, is federal. That's about $545,000. That blue, or 3%, that's interdistrict. That's about $673,000. And then you just have a couple other smaller chunks of interdistrict and other for that total of 21. If you flip to the next pie chart, or the next chart, sorry, it's not a pie chart. This is just, again, kind of look at the same kind of data, but the revenue by source for the last 5 years. So over the last 5 years, you can kind of see that, you know, your state revenue has consistently been your highest source of revenue. You'll see in 24 and 22 that green, which is your federal, that's been a little bit higher. That's just all the ESSER money and all the COVID-related funds. In 25, you had about 2.49. That's kind of where I'd continue to see that at. So going forward, you're going to continue to see it just a lot less federal, unfortunately. You'll kind of continue to see your taxes or the gray at that 13 and then the state at that almost 80%. On the next graph, so like the revenue, this is your expenditures by source. In total, you had about $21.1 million of expenditures. The red is about 56.9%. That's your instruction. That was about $12 million. The gray, or the 36%, that's 7.6 million. That's your support. And then the green is pupil. That's about 7%. That was 1.4 million. And then you had roughly $3,000 of community, or 0.02%. So if you flip to the next one, just like revenue again, this is just looking at your trend for the last 5 years, so you'll see kind of the same thing. Instruction continues to be roughly 55 to 60% of your expenditures, and then your support coming in second, about 32 to 49%. The only change you'll see in 24 and 22-ish or 21, the change in the support services, that increase is just the ESSER funding. So that's all the capital projects kind of got thrown in that support service category. If you flip to the next chart, this is just looking at your general fund, your actual and your budgeted results. So the red on the chart is your actual results and the gray is your budget. You'll see your revenue came in at 21.9, you budgeted 21.7, so you had 173 variance, so you actually came in higher. That came in at 0.7% of a variance, which I think to your team, this is, revenue tends to be an easier one to budget. By June, you have like your state aid saying this is what you're gonna get. July and August comes in a little harder because you never know. The state says this is what you're gonna get, and then they always throw a curveball and they like to change it a little bit, but it should be pretty straightforward. So to come in at 0.7, I think to your team here, this is amazing. Looking at your expenditures, your actual came in at 21 million, and you budgeted 21.2 million, so you're actually 200,000 under, or 0.9%. And Hannah can attest to this. She's come to almost every one of my board meetings. I have told every board, I'm like, oh, it's impossible to come in within 5% of your expenditures. Oh, it's impossible to come in with 2, and you guys are at 0.9%. So this just goes to show you guys, this is, hats off to you guys. I think being fiscally responsible is really hard, especially right now as costs continue to increase. Everything's getting more expensive. Money's not coming in as much as it used to. And so I think for you guys to make sure you're watching your budget, you're watching the expenses, you're not just throwing money around, I think to be within 0.9% of your budget is amazing. So hats off to your team here, the board, Bayer and Risa. I know that's 0.9% is insane, to put it lightly. Let's flip to the next one. So this is just comparing your fund balance over the last 5 years. You'll see there's an increase this year. I think when you look at the last couple years, I think the only thing to think of is just the ESSER money coming in and out. The ESSER money came in and it went right out. So it's kind of hard to kind of look over the last couple years and kind of compare that. Kind of the same thing with the next chart. This is fund balance as a percent of your expenditures. If you look at the last couple years, kind of the same thing. ESSER money came in, so you got the money, and then you have to spend it first, so there's kind of like a net zero change there. So at June 30 at 27%. The next chart, so this is the one that makes the most sense to me, months of operation covered by fund balance. So this is just saying if something were to happen, and I mean, this was kind of realistic a couple months ago, the state didn't pass their budget, you were kind of unsure, and you guys being 80% state funded, you don't really know what's gonna happen. You have about 3.2 months to kind of figure out something going on. So I think that's pretty healthy. Everyone can kind of say different things, and I think we talked about this at the Finance Committee meeting, but just kind of keep an eye on that. Make sure you're kind of watching that. And then the last chart, this is just your general fund balance in total, and just breaking it down by the different categories. You'll see you had $4.6 million of unassigned. This just covers kind of anything. And then you have $1 million related to the budget deficit for next year. So it's just saying if next year's budget goes as you guys have planned, you got that $1 million to kind of cover it there. Oh, there's one more page. And then this last page, this just talks about the single audit. As I said kind of in the beginning, you'll see it's marked draft. And this is just because at the time that we submitted the audit, with the government shutdown and everything, the compliance supplement had not come out yet. So we were not able to issue the single audit yet, like most of our districts. So fingers crossed, it's gonna come out soon. Save me some headaches before Christmas, so. But clean opinion, we did the child nutrition cluster, no findings, everything looked great, so that's all I got. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Mrs. Berry, if I may add one thing. It's not you, Allison. We had authorized as a board a $200,000 transfer to the PIF account on last fiscal year. There was an oversight where that money didn't get transferred. It has been transferred now, so last year looks $200,000 better than what we had meant it to be. And this year will look $200,000 worse because the transfer happened in this fiscal year. So the numbers are what the numbers are, but that.
Just make sure you put that in your budget for this year too.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll talk probably a little bit more about it as we get into our information reports and new business. If you want to start with strategic planning. Section.
Sure. I can take that. So the strategic plan core committee has been meeting pretty regularly. The facilitator that we've been working with has been very, very good at helping us move forward. So we've been developing mission statement, vision statements, beliefs for the district, and we're now at the point that we're working on goals, specific goals, measurable, SMART goals. So some really great brainstorming and team thinking. So everything is still very much, we've got final drafts of things. We still want to go back to the initial committee that met, or the initial focus group that we worked with earlier this fall, and kind of show them what we've done and to make sure it's with the spirit of what was brought out in that working session. But we've got a timeline now of how we want to be getting things finalized so that we can have it in front of the board this coming spring.
Thank you. All right, Facilities and Finance Committee met October 28th and October 30th.
Absolutely. I'd love to.
Thank you.
The 28th was centered around facilities more than finance. Mrs. Berry, Mr. Brown, myself for the board, Mrs. Robinson, David Shorten, Phil Place for the district attended on the 28th. We went over the PIF account, sinking funds, capital projects that are coming, some other things that David and Trish need to identify where we have an opportunity with our sinking fund balance to do a lot of projects throughout the district. And I think it's a matter of those two coming with a recommendation on what needs to be done and prioritizing that with the facility audit that we had done and incorporating a list that Mr. Curlin had handed down. And David's got some work to do to make that his own rather than Mr. Curlin's, but I think that without getting into each individual project, that's the gist of that meeting. Jake or Katie, got anything to add?
No, I think we have a big open discussion about how to spend the money to make sure we aren't sitting on it, and to make sure that we're putting it towards projects that are truly in need. So the prioritization list is going to be huge to help us knock those things off.
Anything else on facilities? All right, on the 30th, we met again, that focus on the finance. David and Phil did not attend. Tammy came in, Regelsworth from the business office, along with Hannah and Allison from Krugel-Lawton, and John, I forget John's last name, for Baron Risa. We went over the audit, everything that was presented here. I will add, we talked about the PIF transfer. I will add, the initial budget we do is a guess. We had no idea this year what the state was sending us. 80% of our funds, as we just saw, came from the state. So without those numbers, the budget's just really, that first one's a guess. I believe, Mrs. Robinson, we're doing a budget amendment next month?
Next month.
Okay.
Yes.
And so we saw we had an initial $1 million budget deficit this year. I think that number is going to come way down for this audit, and we should have a little bit better, or a lot better idea, a lot closer idea where we are, at least up to this point, and what we kind of expect for the last 6-7 months of the fiscal year. But not having that number from the state this year, or any idea what they were going to do, was a real struggle in those meetings with what Risa was trying to do, or John was trying to do for our original budget. But it's kind of like that every year. This year just was worse. And having that fund balance allowed us to not worry about the state shut down as much as some other districts, because we were going to make it a couple months without having to borrow money and throw it away on interest. So feel good about our fund balance.
Yeah, I want to thank the committee for their direction as well throughout this whole process. We know that it is a team, and we appreciate the whole committee for their insight, feedback, and guidance with this. We know the amendment that'll happen in December is actually going to really help us with determining what we can put in the PIF for the upcoming year, like planning better before the end of the year budget happens as well.
And Allison touched on this, but I think it was one of the things that we discussed with them while they were here is we had a change in control in the business office, and just making sure and hearing the feedback that things are going well was really nice to hear. So thank you to everybody that's been involved in that.
Yeah.
Nothing else? Jake? No? All right, next we have the Human Resource Committee meeting on November 5th.
Yeah.
You want to do that, Jen?
We go over
Is it November 5th? I have,
November 5th.
It was on November.
I thought oh, yeah, you're right. I'm looking at the agenda. Wrong. Okay. Okay, so we talked about resignations, terminations, and retirements. Sorry, I just scrolled too fast. Few employee transfers, a couple of new hires, and then we talked about some open positions.
And I think at that point, we were just kicking off some of the interviews for some of the positions, so a lot of discussion on that. Questions? All right, thank you. Next, we have the School Farm Committee, November 12th.
I will do that. Basically, it's the end of the year. We are wrapping up our field trips and the farm and putting her to sleep. We talked about, so we had a meeting, and it was myself, Ms. Frost, Mr. Whitfield, Mr. Nixon, And Miss Frost made us bean soup and homemade bread, and so that was really nice. Treat that we had, but we discussed, oh, and Jared was virtual, sorry, he was on the phone. So he discussed just all of the field trips and how positive they were, and just some different things that he is gonna try to work on. More so, he's more the farm person. He does the field trips and stuff, but we discussed a little bit more about the curriculum piece and making sure that that stuff is being collaborated and making sure that the kids are getting the requirements out of that, I guess, just the educational pieces. He does well, but again, that's, you know, him doing his projects and the fun activities, sometimes that, you know, gets a little lost, or just different thoughts we were talking about, but also just having a, we're gonna talk about getting him a projector and being able to really utilize some of like PowerPoints and making sure he is hitting on some of those topics that are happening in the classroom and then when they come out, so that it's matching. They talked about just getting ready for maple syrup. It's crazy when we talk about that because it comes really fast, but getting all of our equipment tallied up and just doing some inventory. The caretakers did an amazing job for Fall Fest. They did a new fire pit, had some different stuff. They fixed some railings and some different ramps like at the school farm, but got really ready. Miss Fox, the caretaker's wife, made homemade cookies for our Fall Fest. They were amazing, amazing, amazing. And then we had, I think, a donation for the hot dogs. We had Veit's Greenhouse gave us, donated the pumpkins for Fall Fest, which was very nice. And then just different, my husband was the farmer that drove the tractor the whole time, so I'll give him kudos, thank you for helping out. But anyways, had a lot of good volunteers, and then we did some fun craft projects, and the high school kids stepped up and they come out and took care of all the crafts, so that was really helpful. Just had a really fun, relaxing event. I know Miss Robinson was there, just real chill, which is great. So that's what we want it to be, just a fun event. So we did that, and then we just discussed basically making sure, you know, all the portions are getting taken care of, everyone's doing their, you know, responsibilities, their jobs. Financial, we want to say thank you to the business office and having Tammy. I know you have a lot going on, so we appreciate any help that you can give for us. So we went over just financials and just getting ready for the next year field trips. I think we are working too on, we call them the school field trip t-shirts that we are gonna give to, I think it's K through 4th, that were donated by a bunch of different businesses, and so we will have that, and we'll announce that when those get done, but we're working with Impressive Lettering for that. And then we're also talking to Impressive Lettering just to have a school store for the school farm on our link. So we're working on some of that stuff, so just keeping it going, fun as always. We love the school farm, so. We were worried too about the soybeans for a while. Our farmer did mention, like, at the beginning, he wasn't quite sure, because we base some of our income off of our crops, and so at the beginning, he hadn't had one sold yet. So we were a little worried about that because we do count on that fund to kind of support us year to year. But it sounds like that switched, so I think we're gonna be fine. So that's what he mentioned. I think that's it. Sorry, there's a lot we talked about, but we're all good.
All right, and finally, the Parent Advisory Committee meeting yesterday.
So we had our first meeting last week, Thursday, so this was the kickoff to one of 4 meetings that we have throughout the year. We had 8 parents there, a very widespread group from preschool parents to the high school parents. Excited about where we can go. I gave them pretty much an overview of what we accomplished last school year as a parent advisory group and what we've done over the years. So we have a small amount of time with the groups, but they do make an impact. So at the end, what we decided that we'd focus on this year is trying to do a bullying campaign. How that looks or whatever, we are still yet to determine that, but that is something that we want to focus on this year.
All right, any questions before we move on to the next section?
For the parent advisory, I want to say, the first one I was involved in, and just through the years, what I like is it's like got a running agenda, and so they pull off of one, but they also are allowed some, you know, of their own ideas. So I do like that, and I like how that is managed. So just seeing it from the conception of it and going through the years, it's pretty cool that they get to touch on certain things, but then also come up with new. So it's been really productive, I think.
Yeah, and this is my 6th school year here. So I've had parents who've been with me for 6 years throughout the thing. So because they've started with young kids, so that's exciting too.
Yes.
So we have some repeaters as well.
And the Buchanan Community Schools Foundation was
Yes.
kind of kicked off by parents who started on that committee.
Yes.
So. Good. All right, our next section is public comment, and I don't think we have any cards. Nope. So we will move on to adoption of the consent agenda.
I move the Board of Education approves consent agenda items for the regular meeting of November 17th, 2025.
Support.
All right. Roll call?
One
Mr.
sec.
Carl?
Yes, well, I was just gonna congratulate all the new hires on there, and I believe we have one with us tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you wanna introduce
I was,
Mrs. Rouse?
don't we read through?
I was gonna have her
Oh, after?
after, but
Okay.
that's
We have a spot for, right?
Oh, great.
after this.
What's
Once
roll
it's
call?
approved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's your meeting.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and, yeah, do we need, in the past, we've always said what's included in this.
We
Do
usually read it out
okay.
loud, yeah.
All right. So the minutes include the regular meeting from, we don't have to?
We don't
have to anymore?
All right,
Oh, good.
good.
Beep.
All right,
Yeah, that's,
That's good.
okay. Well then, roll
I was
call.
gonna say, all right, move on. Sorry. All right, Mr. Carlson?
Yes?
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes.
I'm just trying to get her out of here earlier.
Well,
We're
with that,
okay with
one
that.
of the,
Yeah, we're okay with it.
one of those recommendations for hire is Lacey Payne as Director of Educational Services, and she's here, so if you'd like to come up, thank you.
I'm so excited to be here. It's a great honor and privilege to be part of Buchanan Community Schools. And I want to also introduce my husband, Mike Payne, came with me tonight. This is our home district, and you know, we've been a resident of Buchanan for the last 10 years. We live out on Coveney Road, and it's a great, quiet space to be in. And I'm finally able to be part of your community, and I'm really close to Kelly. So we've got a lot of really odd things that we have in common. So maybe you'll hear about those over the year. But I have spent the last 20 years of my professional career in education. Most recently as the Director of Education at River Valley Schools. I really have focused a lot on building strong systems, good relationships, teacher capacity, increasing that capacity so they understand. When they understand, they can do better. And we can't expect those things to change if we aren't educating them to make that impact. And so it's passionate for me to make sure that I'm providing that alongside teachers, all to improve the environments of the academics and the outcomes that we are expecting from our kids, because that's what we are here for, right? So I'm excited to dig into that work with Buchanan Schools, and specifically with Trish and her team and you as a board, and I look forward to working alongside you, and you know, just like get excited hearing about the different things that the school has to offer. And you know, from a distance I've been able to see the school farm, and I know the caretaker family that's there, and so we've gone there for different things, and you know, yes, I've been ingrained in watching, and I'm excited to be a part of the team. And yes, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And so Lacey's First day will be December 1st, and she'll be here, she said at 7 a.m. And I did show her her workspace, and she didn't run away, so I'm really excited about that, so, about her being here.
Good. Welcome.
Right.
Good. All right, we will move on to the action items. So the BVA graduation certification.
I make a motion that upon satisfactory completion of district requirements for high school graduation, the Board of Education hereby approves Buchanan Virtual Academy student Ali Al-Sultani and Buchanan Step-Up student Rhiannon Baird.
Support. Questions, comments?
Congratulations.
And roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. Next, we have our 25-26 MHSAA Athletics State Qualifying Teams Overnight Student Trips.
I move the Buchanan Board of Education approves upcoming overnight student trips for MHSAA tournament qualifying teams for the 2025-2026 school year in accordance with board policy number 5506.
Support.
Questions, comments? Go ahead.
So, we were gonna get ahead of this one year, so. So next year we'll have this on the agenda at the beginning of the year, because we did have a team that stayed overnight, and I had to use the powers that you guys gave me to approve that one, so, this will help us out for the rest of the school year.
Appreciate it. Hopefully, we have to use it a lot more times.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
All right. Roll call.
not a bad thing. Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. All right, next we have the BTA letter of agreement for trip rates.
Move the Board of Education approves the attached letter of agreement with Buchanan Transportation Association regarding trip rates.
Support.
Questions?
So, and just a little bit of piece of information, this will, this is our attempt in trying to ensure that we have drivers for our after-school trips and making it a flat the same rate as their regular rate, so.
All right, roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
Ms. Berry?
Yes. All right, next we have the board policy updates.
I make a motion the Buchanan Board of Education approves the following policies: through October 13th, 2025 update, and district updates for policy 5709 for lice, nits, and bed bugs.
Support.
These were all general updates.
All right, any comments from the board, questions? Go ahead with roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. Next, we have our contract approval for the 25-26 snow plowing.
I move the Board of Education approves the snow removal contract for the 2025-26 school year with affordable asphalt paving and bulldozing.
Support.
Anything, questions, comments, thoughts? Wishing for a light winter, nothing? All right.
It's not starting that way.
We'll go with a roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. Next, we have our school farm land lease.
I make a motion, the Buchanan Board of Education approves the attached farm land lease agreement with Shane Maston for the rental of land at the school farm for a 3-year period ending November 30th, 2028. The president and secretary are hereby authorized to sign the agreement on behalf of the board.
Support.
Thank you.
Any questions, comments, anything to add? No? All right, roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. All right, and next we are going to move into closed session for an opinion of an attorney-client privilege document. I'll make that motion. The Buchanan Board of Education moves into closed session per section 8H to discuss an attorney-client privilege written opinion from legal counsel at 6:57.
Support.
Okay.
All right, we will return to open session. I'll make the motion at 7:41 that the board returns, or the Board of Education resolves to return to open session.
Support.
And roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. All right. Sorry, wrong page. Okay. Good motion. All right. Where do I need to start? This one? So just start there. All right. The Board of Education, a regular meeting of the Board of Education of Buchanan Community Schools was held in the auditorium of Buchanan High School within the boundaries of the district on the 17th day of November, 2025 at 6:00 p.m. And whereas the following preamble and resolution were offered by myself and supported by whomever is going to support it. Carlson will support. 1, Public Act 15 of 2025 amends State School Aid Section 31AA MCL 388.1631AA to allocate funding for fiscal year 2025-26 to support school safety and student mental health initiatives, as well as to provide certain competitive grant funding, also known as 31AA funding. And 2, to receive 31AA funding, the district must agree to receive the funding in their form and manner established by the Michigan Department of Education, MDE, and either formally opt in or seek a competitive grant. And 3, as a condition of receiving either type 31AA funding, the district must agree in advance that in the event of a mass casualty event, as defined in MCL 388.1631AA, 1, the district will be subject to and comply with a comprehensive investigation following such an event, and 2, the district will waive any privilege that would otherwise protect related information from disclosure, and 4, the board has been advised of and fully informed regarding the legal and practical implications of this waiver requirement, including that it may affect the confidentiality of communications otherwise protected by the attorney-client privilege and other applicable privileges related to a mass casualty event. And 5, the board recognizes that the waiver requirement may expose the district to legal, reputational, and operational risks, and that the decision to accept or decline funding carries significant implications for the district's ability to manage sensitive information responsibly. And 6, after careful deliberation, the board has determined that while it fully supports initiatives to enhance school safety and student mental health, it is in the district's best interest to preserve its legal privileges and make a deliberate, informed election regarding participation in 31AA funding, and that it cannot accept the 31AA funding unless the waiver requirement is eliminated or modified to preserve the district's legal privileges. Now therefore be resolved that 1, the board hereby resolves to decline Section 31AA funding in order to preserve attorney-client or other applicable privileges that would otherwise be subject to waiver under the conditions imposed by MCL 388.1631AA. However, if those conditions are eliminated or modified to preserve applicable privileges, the board authorizes the superintendent or designee to accept the funding. This decision reflects the board's commitment to responsible governance and the protection of sensitive information while continuing to prioritize student safety through existing programs and initiatives. 2, the decision represents the board's careful and deliberate exercise of its discretion, balancing in statutory conditions of 31AA funding with the district's responsibility to maintain operational and legal safeguards. 3, all all resolutions and parts of resolutions insofar as they conflict with the provisions of this resolution B and the same are hereby rescinded. And it was supported by Chris. Okay. Anything to add? Questions? All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. It's all right here. All right, moving on to 2026 summer tax resolution.
Board of Education adopts the following resolution, whereas the board previously adopted a resolution to impose a summer tax levy to collect 100% of annual school property taxes, including debt service upon property located within a district and continuing from year to year until specifically revoked by the board. Now therefore be it resolved that, one, the board pursuant to 1976 Public Act 451, as amended, the revised school code invokes for 2026 as previously adopted ongoing resolution imposing a summer tax levy of all of annual school property taxes, including debt service upon property located within a district and continuing from year to year until specifically revoked by the board, and requires that each city and/or township in which the district is located collect those summer taxes. Two, the superintendent designee is authorized and directed to forward to the governing body of each city and/or township in which the district is located a copy of the board's resolution imposing a summer property tax levy on the ongoing basis, and a copy of the resolution requesting that each city and/or township agree to collect the summer tax levy for 2026 in the amount specified in this resolution. Such forwarding of the resolutions and the request to collect the summer tax levy shall be performed so that they are received by the appropriate governing bodies before January 1st, 2026. 3, pursuant to and in accordance with Section 1613, subsection 1 of the revised school code, the superintendent or designee is authorized and directed to negotiate on behalf of the district with the governing body of each city and/or township in which the district is located for a reasonable expense for collecting of the district's summer tax levy that the city and/or township may bill under MCL 380.1611 or MCL 380.162. Any such proposed agreement shall be brought before the board for its approval or disapproval, and for all resolutions and parts of the resolution insofar as they conflict with the provisions of this resolution, B and the same are hereby rescinded.
Support.
This just allows us to collect our annual property taxes during the summer.
Okay. Roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
Ms. Berry?
Yes. One more. We have the 25-26 administrator contracts.
I make a motion, the Buchanan Board of Education approves the district administrative contracts for the 25-26 school year from December 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 for Lacey Payne, Director of Educational Services.
Support.
We're excited.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. All right, any questions or comments from the board?
I would like to share that Mr. Brown's birthday's today, so a happy birthday. I won't tell how old you are. And I wanted to say, you're welcome, we love you. I wanted to say thank you for the snow day. not just because it was a day off, but it was really, really bad in our area. Trees down, lines down, roads are bad, slush, I mean, it was just awful. It was really bad, so, it's funny to see across the county where they're like, why are we having a snow day? But then I'm like, we really did need it in our area. So thank you for keeping us safe and making those decisions. And then also a happy Thanksgiving. I can't believe I'm saying that, but have a great holiday.
Just want to thank our partnership with the schools and the support that we're able to take some of our, about 18 of our students for Shop with a Cop coming up in a couple of several weeks. So we really appreciate that yearly partnership to help some of our students and their families during, sometimes some difficult times during the holidays.
I don't have anything. Just thank you all for the work that you do. This is tough up here, and some decisions are tough, and I'm glad that we have a bunch of different inputs and different perspectives, and I think this board is great.
Thank you.
Jenny or Chris? Just, I saw on social media that we had a group of students that were out raking for members of the community this week, or this past weekend, and kudos to them. It's great to see that community service and giving back. It's a great thing to foster in the community and in the schools especially.
I forgot to mention on the snow day, they had a picture of our tennis courts flooded, and they used to use them for ice rink.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
I
saw
forgot
that.
about that, and I was like, oh, that looked like it, but I wasn't quite sure, so that was a neat memory, I guess. Yeah, throwback,
Just didn't get a snow day.
and probably why our courts are
The way they look.
the way they are.
Two brief things. One, thank you to Phil for continuing to try new technology to make these meetings
Yes.
run smoothly. Appreciate that. And we didn't really touch on this, and I want to make sure that we continue to talk about it. Facilities and finance and other strategic planning, it kind of all blends in with a lot of them, have had continuing conversations about bond work and what is needed or what is coming. So I think we would be remiss if we didn't say that those conversations are continuing to make sure that we are working with the priorities, making sure we're spending the dollars that we already have allocated appropriately, and then continuing to look. I think we were all kind of watching what happened in other districts as they went out for bonds the last, was that last week, 2 weeks ago? To see, and it was promising to see some of them pass. So more to come as we get farther with the work, so. All right, our next meeting is, lost my place, sorry. December 15th at 6 PM. So we are adjourned. Thank you.